School? Chat your answer in the chat box. Can you still remember any lesson that you discussed in senior high school? Just chat yes or no so that I would know where I would start and how will the treatment be for this topic. Because as far as I can remember, the curriculum of the GenMat for senior high school, which of course everybody should get or should take, has logic in its list of topics. Pakichat daw eh. If you can remember that you discuss about logic, something, anything about logic in your senior high school general mathematics course. Wala. Okay, thank you, John. Kylie. Okay, nalimtan na. It's okay. It's always true because whenever we know that we understood those things before. However, the difference now will be that it won't be that difficult than the first encounter. It would be easier. You just need to be refreshed about the topic. So as I have said, we're going to discuss now. As I have said, I'm going to have your attendance check later while the others are still joining. So good morning once again. So this is a very interesting topic actually. No char ha. Very interesting topic because you will be able to apply this. Okay, apply this in your in decision making, in reasoning with others. That's what we learn. That's what we have to get about our lesson for today. So chapter 3 logic will be is divided into three sections because it's too long. So 3.1 is on logic statements and quantifiers. 3.2 is on truth tables and equivalent statements. And 3.3 will be on uh, biconditional and conditional statements. The last one is the shortest one. So for today, these are our objectives. First, you are going to identify the type of statements in logic. We would call it particularly as logic statements. And we're going to construct, of course, compound statements. And then state the negation of statements with or without quantifiers. And then write compound statements in symbolic forms. That is what we do in logic. And I'm sure if you have taken GenMath, that has been taken in GenMath already. Okay, so I have decided to transfer item number 5 in the next lesson, of course. Okay, so these are the things we're going to discuss for today. So by the way, please join ClassPoint that app now because I will be asking you, I think, 7 questions for today. Okay, ClassPoint that app. The code is 68892. So we define first, what do we consider as a statement in logic? Okay, so I think it's not only in logic, but this is really how we define a statement even in real life. So first one is a statement is a declarative sentence. So we know declarative from our grade school language class that it should end with a period, right? So and it declares from its name declares a fact. So it is either true or false, but not both true and false. Okay, so this is a very important description of a statement. First, it should be a declarative sentence, so it should end in a period and then it states a fact. And its truth value is just either true or false, no in between truth value. So again, recall a declarative sentence is a sentence that makes a statement or a declaration. It passes on information. And one very distinguishing attribute of a statement is, of course, it always ends with a period, which means it indicates a full stop. So it's important that you identify whether a statement, a given sentence, formulate a statement or just a simple sentence itself. So for example, determine whether each sentence is a statement. Okay, first one, Cagayan de Oro City is in Mindanao. You have to check if it declares a fact. On second one is you check on its truth value, whether it can just be true, either true or false, but not both. So Cagayan de Oro City is in Mindanao is a fact, and it ends with a period. Therefore, it's a declarative sentence. And of course, it is a statement or simply a logic statement. The second is, are you going to school? This sentence asks for a question. Therefore, it's not a declarative sentence, right? It's interrogative, if you can recall your grammar class. So that is not a statement. Letter C, you have there 5 to the 131 minus 1 is an odd number. Okay, so is it a statement? It ends with a period. Okay, so it might be either true or false. Therefore, it is also a statement. While for letter D, brush your teeth. Does it declare a statement? Yes, it ends with a period, but it does not declare a statement. It actually gives a command. Therefore, in your grammar class, it is identified as a command, right? A command sentence. Next, letter D, x plus 4 is equal to 8. Okay, so if we have mathematical statements, you don't see a period, of course. But we know that it can be either true or false, but not both. Therefore, E is also a statement. I hope it's clear. When do we say that a statement is, a sentence is a statement or not? So here is an explanation for the things that I have said earlier. Okay, so I hope you are in class point now. I can see 20 people in class point because the next slide will be asking you to answer the question that I will be showing in the presentation. Okay, again, this is additional points for your uh, short quiz on this topic, which will be given on Friday. Okay, so shall we go to this first question? The following sentences are statements except. Okay, thank you for your answer. The correct answer here is the one answered by 68%. It's letter A. Save. So the rest of the, okay, go to the supermarket is of course a command, right? Whereas letter B, 1 million is greater than 1,000. This is a true statement, right? It ends with a period, while letter C could be true or false. It ends with a period. The same thing, equations in mathematics are also statements in logic. Okay, I hope the description for statement is already clear to you. Okay, we proceed now to simple statements and compound statement. So we differentiate these two first, and then we are going to later on state compound statement. So we define first what is a simple statement. So it conveys, from its name, conveys a single, okay, one idea only. In contrast, when you have a compound statement, this conveys two or more ideas. So what are we going to do in order to have a compound statement? We are going, of course, to join two or more single statements, joining them with what we call these words or phrases such as and, or, if then, if and only if. So these phrases and words will enable us to state a compound statement by, of course, joining simple statements with this what we call as there is a name for this. These are what we call as connectives. Okay, so those connectives will enable you to state a compound statement. For example, the connective or here, joining the two statements, I will attend the meeting or I will go to school. There are two simple statements here, and it's connected or joined by the connective or. So this gives you now a compound statement. So if you see any of those connectives, then what you form is a compound statement. These two here, the statement 0 plus 5 equals 5 and parrot is a bird are connected by the word or by the word and. Therefore, it's a compound statement. Letter C, you have an if then. So you have there if, then you have this simple statement. Then you have this simple statement. Two statements are joined by the phrase if then. This time, it is uh, connected by the phrase if and only if. So all of these are examples of compound statements. Okay, so again, we we compose a compound statement by joining two or more simple statements with what we call as logical connectives. So a logical connective, or also called a logical operator, is a symbol or word used to connect two or more sentences in a grammatically valid way, such that the sense of the compound sentence produced depends only on the original sentences. So those are what we call as logical connective. But there is an important note here. Okay, here. So whenever you join two simple statements with the word and or but, okay, we usually use but when the following statement or the succeeding statement would be in negative form, right? So we would say, for example, Anna is beautiful, but she is not smart, right? So the following statement is a but. So when two statements are joined by the word but, it is still considered as a conjunction. This another word, however, so more or less same as but, is also used to make a conjunction. Okay, so the one that will tell you what type of statement you are given with are the connectives. So whenever you see connectives and, but, or however, the statement, the resulting compound statement is what we call a conjunction. Whereas if two simple statements are connected by the word or, we call that statement a disjunction. Okay? Disjunction. Thirdly, if you have implies, the word implies, or this, you see this if then, just like what we had earlier, or the phrase only if lang na ha. These connectives is for implication, or we call the statement, the resulting compound statement, as an implication. Okay? So next one is, how about if? The phrase that you see connecting two or more statements is the phrase if and only if. This one, only if lang ni ha. while in here it's if and only if. We call it as an equivalence. Okay, equivalence or biconditional statement, because this implication is what we call conditional also. But this one, since there are two directions, it's biconditional, or sometimes called just in case. Another phrase will be just in case. So, but you have to take note that there are other logical terms that are, no, not logical, words that are used to make other statements, just like the word not. Not to state the negation of a simple statement. And also, it is false that, negation also. It is not the case that. However, we did not list it there because the negation, actually, when you put in the negation, it actually does not result to a compound statement. Instead, it is just a single statement. Okay? So still, that not there is called a connective. Okay? So those are the common logical connectives. I hope you are fine with that. And conjunction, but there are other terms used, the but and the however, or for a disjunction implies for a conditional statement or an implication. You can also say if then or only if. And then when you connect two simple statements with if and only if, we call it a biconditional statement or an equivalence. Okay, so who was the one who made use of the symbols for the logical connectives? Each of the connective that I have flashed earlier has a corresponding symbol. Okay, I hope you can remember you did these things in your Gen Math. So for example, if you have this tilde, tilde is the symbol used to denote negation or not. This one here, this inverted letter V is the symbol used to denote and. This one for or. This one is for if then or for a conditional statement. This one is for if and only if. The person who used symbols as P, Q, and R and S to represent simple statement and these symbols here was George Bull. Okay, so if you can remember, if you have gone through or come across Boolean algebra, okay, George Bull was the one who created that algebra using the symbols. Okay, so this table here would show you the type of the statement that you are given with their symbolic form. You need to be familiar with them because I will be asking you questions about them later on. So if you see this tilde before a statement, it means that we are going to state the negation. So it means not P. If you see this symbol, an inverted letter V, that is used to denote and or the symbolic form of and this can be read as P and Q. Take note, this P, Q, R are maybe our statements. When I say P and then this symbol V, that gives you a disjunction. That is the symbolic form of the connective or. If you have this one arrow-headed line, then you are going to have a conditional statement or an implication. It means if P, comma, then Q. While if you have these double arrow heads, what you will have is P if and only if Q. You will have this as its statement. Okay, I'm giving this table because later on you will be asked to state the negation of a statement, or you will be given the sentence form of a compound statement. You write it in symbolic form and vice versa. You will be given the symbolic form of the statement. You write it in sentence form. And you have also to bear in mind what do we call each of the statements, because later on in the next section, it has its own truth values. So each of these statement here. So be familiar. So when you say conjunction, that's an, I think you're familiar with this already, right? Or this is conditional. If then, this is if and only if. So for example, we are to write the negation of the statement Gary Valenciano is a singer. Then the dog does not need to be fed. I think it's easier to write the negation because if it's in positive form, you just have to insert the word no or not depending on how the sentence is formulated. So for letter A, Gary Valenciano is a singer is in positive form. So we simply make the negation by making it in the negative form, inserting the word not. So we would say Gary Valenciano is not a singer. We just inserted the word not. How about if the statement is already in the negative form? So it says the dog does not need to be fed. So the negation, to state the negation of this statement, we are just going to we understand the fact that double negation is the statement itself. So negation of a not is the positive form of the statement. So we would say that the dog needs to be fed. So we still observe correct grammar now because you have learned a lot of grammar since grade school. Okay, so although that is not really the point, but that's not really what our objective is in this lesson. However, we still apply what you have learned in other subjects to mathematics. I hope that is clear. Okay, so that is how we formulate negation. Okay, so how about if you are to write the following compound statements in symbolic form? Practice lang tayo in symbolic form. How will you write P or not Q? So remember the symbols that were used by George Bull. So we have P or not Q. If we write it in symbolic form, okay, take note of the symbols there. So we just simply copy P. We just replace the connectives with their corresponding symbols. So when we have or, okay, this is our symbol. And for not, this is the symbols. Therefore, the symbolic form of that statement is this one here. We call it symbolic form. For letter B, if you have seen there, you see if, then. What is, we also have and, right? So take note, just take note of the connectives that you can see. And you have if, then. So we have three statements to being stated here, P, R, and Q. So how will you say if, then, Q? Okay, so we look at this here. We look at this first. P and R. How will you write in symbols P and R? Of course, you're going to write P. And the symbol for and is like that, right? P and R. And then we will have if. So when we say if, then we will have this, right? If P and R, then we write Q. That's the symbolic form of that. Next is you have if and only if. What's the symbolic form of if and only if? Of course, we have this one here, the double arrow-headed segment. So how will you write that in symbolic form? You will have P, if and only if. Since we have two statements here, we use a grouping symbol, particularly parenthesis. Okay, so if and only if. This is the symbol for if and only if. And we simply have to copy the statement that are here, Q and R. How about letter D? Not P and not Q. It's like that. Not P is tilde P and is that symbol there, and not Q is tilde Q. Last one for this example, we have if P and Q, okay, P and Q in symbols, then R or S in symbols, it's this. Then we have the symbol for if then, this symbol here. Simple Rana? Okay, simple. Yes, you should have known from the start. Let's try to do this now. A little complicated compared to the first one that we did. So we have write the following compound statements in symbolic form. Kanina, we had a statement just P and Q. This time, we will replace the P, the Q, R, and S using statements. So these are statements, right? So how will you write in symbolic form the following statements? So you simply have to replace. You replace the sentences with the codes that was attached to them. For example, if you want to write in symbolic form this statement here, we replace today is Friday as P. And then, of course, you look for the connective. The connective is and. Replace it. We have it is raining. It is raining here is a sentence that is used to represent Q. Therefore, the symbolic form of that is that one there, P and Q. Letter B, it is not raining. Okay, what you can see here is the statement, it is raining. It is not raining, therefore, is the negation of it is raining. So we would have, it is not raining will be not Q. And then the connective here is and. So we use and again. I am going to a movie. I am going to a movie is R. So that is the symbolic statement. Next, I am going to the basketball game. What do we have here? It's I am not going to the basketball game. So what would it be? It's the negation of that. So we will have here, I'm just making this here, but the answers are already in the next slide. Excuse me. I'm just making it this way so that you can still, I can also share with you my strategy in answering questions like this. Okay, or we will have this symbol or I am going to a movie. I'm going to a movie is just R. It's there. R. Last one, if it is raining, you see you have this if and you have a then. Okay, so what symbol is for if then? Of course, it's this symbol here. It is raining. It is raining is the statement for the symbol Q. Then I am not going to the basketball game. I am not going to the basketball game is S. Gets? Okay, can I see some thumbs up if this is clear? Okay, are you still there or you are back to sleep? Thank you. Thank you very much. You're still there. Because in the next question, it will be your turn. This is the discussion, the explanation that I said earlier. Get ready with your class point because I will be, the next question is for you to answer. Okay, so let's have this first. I will have some, I'm going to call some of the names before we will have the class point. Oh, the citations at the. Write the following compound statements in symbolic form. Can I have, try to see, Nicole Fabre for the first one. What's the symbolic form of this, Nicole? Hi, Nicole. Is Nicole Fabre around? Okay, it's okay, Nicole. Take your time. Well, practice before I'm going to ask you to answer. And then for letter B, it will be Harley. Okay, can I have, okay, Nicole, do you have an answer already? Harley for letter B. And then for letter C, I would ask, Candy. And then for letter D, it will be Muhammad. There. Think you can see the question already? Okay, as soon as you have the answer, just unmute your mic and tell me what letter you are answering so that I can also write your answer here. Those who are called, can you please give me your answer? Those four? Okay, Nicole chatted her answer, not P and R. Okay, so for Nicole, it's not P and R. Correct. Today is not Friday, and I am going to a movie. Very good, Nicole. It's correct. How about the other two that I called? The other three. Muhammad, do you have answer for letter D? And Candy for letter C? And Harley for letter B? Practice lang. Uh, don't worry if you don't get it right. It's okay. The reason I'm asking you is to check really if you have understood what I kept on saying earlier. You don't need to be correct all the time, ha? Don't be pressured on that. Practice lang gani, di ba? That's why it's called practice, not yet the final. Okay, Candy, C, not Q, and R. Letter C, check na to. Not Q, this is Candy's answer. And R, not Q. I am going to a movie. I see mechanic, ano no, Harley? Ano sabi to si, ay, that. Let me check. Chat. Okay, not Q and R. Okay, if you look at for letter C, I am going to a movie. I am going to a movie. What is this statement? This is R. Right? That's R. And then you look at if and only if. What's the symbol for this? It's this double arrow-headed segment. And then if it is raining, replace it with the statement for if it is raining. It's Q. Therefore, R if and only if Q. Okay? So I hope okay na, Harley. How about the ang letter B? I think I asked, I already forgot. Who did I assign? Who did I assign? Are you there, ano, Muhammad and
Yes po, ma'am. Try ko lang, ma'am.
what's
Sige, ma'am.
sige, sige.
P, then R, ma'am.
P, this symbol, and then R. Take a look. It's not exactly R because it says I am not going. The R is I am going. So it should be
Negation.
negation. It's P. I'm going to erase that. Thank you, Muhammad. It will be P. Then I am not going to a movie. What we are given with is R. I am going. So if I say I am not, it will be not Q. Thanks, Muhammad. That's the correct answer now. For letter B, who did I call for letter B? I already forgot. Kinsa to? Okay. Thank you, Harley. Not R implies Q. Not R. Sulat ko lang. Implies Q. Not R. It's okay. It's okay, Harley. Okay, I am going to the basketball game. Okay, what we are given with is I am not going to the basketball game. But the question is I am going. So you take the relation, you find what is the relationship between these statements because they are not the same. But we know that the statement given in the question is the negation. Negation because they are opposites, di ba? So it would say not are, and then this is and. And money. What's the symbol for and? It's and. Remember the and. That's why as I have told you, you should have your código at this time for the symbols. And then I am not going to the basketball game. To the movie is R. I am going to the bus Tempa, I think check to imong answer ganina. Naggabali lang, pero it's okay to have it, ano, I'll check ha. Basig sayop ko. You use if. No, it's not if. The conjunction here is and. So it should be this symbol. I am not going to a movie is the negation. Ay, sorry, Tessa. Again, erase. It's okay na si and. I am going to the basketball game is S. Sorry. It's not S. Oh, apilpog ko, naglibog. This should be, I am going to the basketball game. It's not S. And you have, I am not going to the movie. Also, that's not R. Be asked questions if there are things not clear to you in this example. Not S and not R. Thank you, Ram, for your answer. I hope clear. Try to ask question in the answers if you do not understand how we got the answers. It's okay to ask. Okay ra mo diya ha? Oh, don't waste your time listening tapos wala mo nakasabot, okay? Okay, sige. Try na to. I'll be asking you the next question. It's your turn. Yes, Asnaira, you have a question?
Ma'am, I think it's supposed to be, ano ma'am, ano na? R instead of Q sa letter D.
Letter D. I am not going to a movie is art. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Asnaira. Mo na no akong ingon sa inyo. You have to check also. I am not going to a movie is not art. Thank you. Correct na Nina? P, if today is Friday, then if then. Not R. Thank you. Napay question? Claro, let's try. It's your turn to try this.
Ma'am.
Okay, so the correct answer here is letter B. Still, okay, 40%, 40, the 60 we're not able to get it. Sige, check na to So this is my technique. I'm not sure with the others So we have here, you check on the connectives. You have if, then. You have there if, then, and then you also see or. Okay, so of course you should have memorized the symbols already. So for or, it should be this symbol. So we will have this or, and then we have the statement, the school bus does not come. In the given here, what we are given is the school bus will come. Okay, will come and will not come are negations of each other. So the school bus does not come is not P, right? Not P, then we have the symbol for or. I will not go to school. I will not go to school is the statement that we have here, and it is Q, right? And then you will have to group this because we have three statements, no? We have if, then, man. So you will have if, then is the symbol for that is this one. I shall not meet my friends. But what you are given here is I shall meet my friends. What's the relationship between I shall not meet and I shall meet? They are opposite. So this one is simply not R. So correct ba akong answer? Or Q implies not R? It's letter B. I hope those who are not able to get it is now clarified. Okay, we will have more of this whenever we have 3 or more statements. Don't worry. So later on, I'm going to entertain questions. So here are more examples. You have to consider the following statements. We will now do the reverse. Earlier, what we did was, given the statement form, we are going to write the symbolic form. So this time, we will do the reverse. Pabali ha? So earlier we had, as I have said, the statement, we write it in symbolic. This time, the symbolic form, you write it in sentence form. So let's see which one is easier for you here. You have your Q. What's the symbol for this? What is the word for this? Or what is the connective? The connective of that is and. You simply have to state what does Q represent here. The the representation of Q is the game will be shown on GMA. Just join. Ano pa na? Practice pa lang or scratch paper pa lang. The game will be shown on GMA and you state P. What's P? The game will be played in Araneta Coliseum. So, and of course, whenever we observe correct grammar, we don't say the noun again and again, right? Can you still remember that? Whenever we mention the same name the second time around, we replace it with a pronoun. Therefore, although acceptable lang, pwede ra madawat because this is math, pero according to our professors before, it's not an excuse daw that you are a math student and you will not observe correct grammar. So di daw excuse. Pero in your answers, I will still be considering that. So anyway, the thought here, the very objective here is that one. You know how to formulate those. So for this one here, it's just as simple as that, no? Sorry if I say would simple. Pero do not be intimidated by that. So we'll have it done one by one if it's still difficult for you. The game will be shown on GMA. That's what we replace for Q, right? And then this symbol is the one that we replace with the word and. P is it will be played. This is the second statement. The P should have been the game will be played in Araneta Coliseum. But we already have mentioned the game, the game. Sabanta, taga Xavier, ba daw kay maayo mag-in-English, sabanta nila. So, we will replace the game with the pronoun for the game. It's it. So we would say the game will be shown on GMA and it will be played in Araneta Coliseum. Okay? Are we good? Okay, I would need an answer for letter B, para mag-answer mo din ha. Can I have Ram? Ram, what's your answer for letter B? You unmute your mic and then you say your answer.
Madunggan ko, ma'am.
Yes, loud and
Yes.
clear.
Okay, ang answer, ma'am, kay sa R is the game will be shown on TV5 and the Blue Eagles are favored to win.
Yay, very good, Ram. That's correct. So you just have to replace now. What we are given is R. So make it not R. So if you see R here, it's already in negative form or negation form. You just have to have it in positive form. You just have to remove the not or the no if there is the word there is no. So as Ram said, the game will be shown on TV5. That's the symbol for and. Replace it with and then you simply state S. So the nouns now are not repeated because the second subject is the other sentence, the subject is the Blue Eagles. Therefore, we will have this answer. Okay, I hope claro. How about letter C? Can I ask Eliseo? Oh, I will call your attention so that also Eliseo Q. Kilab.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes, I can hear you now.
The Blue Eagles are favored to win. Will played in Araneta Coliseum.
What will you replace with this double arrow-headed symbol? What connective? This is? You're almost there. Paki-state daw balik, Eliseo. Hi, Eliseo. You're still there?
Yes,
Correct?
ma'am.
Sige, again. Sige, last one. Last na lang. Correct na to. The Blue Eagles are favored to win. What does this symbol represent?
If only played in Araneta Coliseum.
Okay. So if and only if, not P man, not P. Not P is what we are given with is P man. So if you will have not P here, it will be the game will not be played in Araneta Coliseum. Okay, so we simply have to state S. Okay, it's okay. It's okay to get confused. Don't worry about that. We replace that with S. No, we state S, by the way, if and only if ni siya nga symbol. Do not forget. Write them in your código or in your notebook. The game will, why not? Because we have this tilde, right? The tilde means you negate the statement. Okay, I hope naklaro-klaro na. Let's have the next question. It will be for you to answer. Try. Try lang, try. We will have the symbolic form. Simple lang siguro na. Not Q or P in words. If P is this one here. Just choose. Pwede ra mag-interchange siya. Pwede ra mag-interchange. Example, P and Q will just be the same as Q and P. I'm going to restart. Then you so that the others can answer, ha? As I have said, because I did this here to also just make it more challenging. P and Q will just be the same as Q and P, di ba? Kana bang sa practical, P and Q na statement will just be the same as Q and P. They have the same, they have the same meaning or they convey the same statement. I'll restart. Please answer those who have not answered yet. Okay, sorry for the others who have not joined. The correct answer is, correct ba ko? Kasi ako wrong. Sorry, check na to, ha? This symbol is for or. La, wrong day ko. Wala day answer diha. Bantu ko mo naka-check. Sorry, ha? Or di ay ni. Balik ko. Or dapat ni tanan. Okay, dapat or ni siya, ha? Sorry. I will give you, those who answered this one will have a full credit kay wrong ang answer at choices ni ma'am. Not Q is the sun. Q is the sun is shining. So not Q is the sun is not shining, right? The sun is not shining. Daghan tulo ka statement. Check ni mo na doon na sun is not shining. Two choices. Okay, or na lang ni ha. Consider na to or. Nabali akong Sorry for that. P. P is the water is 70 degrees Fahrenheit. Asa man na kini. Letter D. Or lang to. Okay, correct lang yapon inyong answer tanan ha. Sorry for that. Nawa cause passing. Okay, so thank you for your answers. Okay, we will now have, na-advance na ako ang uban questions ganina, pero we're going to point this out. Whenever you have 3 or more statements, okay, if you have 3 or more statements, what will you have is you're going to use grouping symbol. Okay, grouping symbol. Grouping symbol that we have will be parenthesis. Okay, parenthesis lang gid atong gamiton. And then, of course, if we translate it into words, we will have it replaced with a comma. Okay, so we will have, for example, if you take a look at here, the two statements Q and not are are grouped using the parentheses here. Okay, whenever we have a statement in symbolic form this way, it means that Q and not R are grouped together. What is the implication of this? When you write this in statement form, statement we will write it as P. Okay, you have to state the sentence for P, of course. P, replace that symbol with and. Okay, suppose na statement P and then you will have, okay, so the Q and not R. Q or then or no, or and not R. You will see that Q and R are grouped together, and when we write it in statement form, they should be preceded by a comma. Okay, so you will know that which one to group if you will see that comma. Next one, in here, P and Q are grouped together. In here, P and not Q, and then R or S are grouped together. Okay, so here is the statement that I said earlier. If a statement in symbolic form is written as an English statement, symbolic to English sentence, the simple statements that appear together in parentheses in symbolic form will all be on the same side of the comma that appears in the sentence. To make it clear, ani suppose we are going to write, we have three statements. You only use grouping symbol if you have three or more. Kung two, walay problema. We don't use that. Okay, so we have, what's the symbol stand for? This is for or. Okay, so we say that P or Q will be grouped together and we have not R. So how are you going to formulate the statement? You replace P with the statement. So we would say the water is 70 degrees Fahrenheit, or you state Q, the sun is shining. You are going to place, it states will all be on the same side of the comma. So the two there will be the same side of the comma. So sila duha naa sa left. And then we replace this. What is this symbols? What does this symbol stand for? It's for and, not R. If R is we go swimming, not R is we will not go swimming or we will not go swimming. So we say, so here is the comma. The one that are grouped together are on one side of the comma, nasa left. And then we will have and. In ani man yata gyapon sa grammar. The logicians also still observe grammar, or else our teachers in grammar will be mad. How about if a compound statement is written as an English sentence? Okay, so then a comma is used to indicate which statements are grouped together. So statements on the same side of a comma are grouped together. Take a look here. So for example, you will have these two statements are on one side of a comma. So when we write this in symbolic form, you will have P and Q. Okay? Ang naa sa two or more statements on one side of a comma will be or, not R. Like that. So same here, P and Q. So in symbolic form, you will have P. Okay, so on one side of a comma, we have two statements. They will be grouped together using parentheses. And then you will have or R. This one, two statements on one side of a comma, but we have if then mana. So what is the symbol for if then? It's like this. But we have these two statements here. We're going to group them in parentheses. We have P, replace and with a symbol, and then not Q. Okay, this is for if then, right? We also have two statements here. Okay, so dapat group also R or S. Okay, so I hope klaro. Again, if a compound statement is written as an English sentence, then a comma is used to indicate which statements are grouped together. Okay, so let's try. Write each sentence in symbolic form using P, Q, R, and S as defined below. This one here. So we have these statements. Be familiar with the statements. So how will you write this in symbolic form? Dwayne Wade is a football player. What is that statement? Is P, right? Okay, napanisumpay ha. Or a basketball player. You have two statements here. So compound statement itself ni siya. We have or, replace that with that. Since we are talking about the same person, we use this one. Or a basketball player. So this means we are still talking about Dwayne Wade. So Dwayne Wade is a basketball player is the statement for Q. They are on the same side of a comma, so we are going to group them, okay, two or more. And then and, what is and? Like that. He is not a rock star. We're still talking about Dwayne Wade. That's why we are using he here. Dwayne Wade is a rock star, is R, pero not a rock star man eh. So it should be not R. Therefore, the symbolic form of that is this one, P or Q, parenthesis, and not R. Napa na answer dito later ha. O, scratch lang nato para dili kay ko fast. If I'm going to just flash it there, it would be very fast. Next. O, na-answer sa next. Dwayne Wade is a rock star. Then we would have this comma here, and he is not a basketball player or a football player. So if you take a look at that, we have two statements here. He is not a basketball player or a football player. So we are still talking about Dwayne Wade. As I have said, we are going to observe correct grammar. But I'm not very strict about that. It's okay. Okay, it's okay because we don't come from the same school. It's okay not to speak a grammar very correct 100%. So the two statements here are on one side of a comma. So we're going to replace it with, we are going to group these two statements. So we will replace this first. Dwayne Wade is a rock star. Okay, Dwayne Wade is a rock star is R. So we will have R, then and. Since these two are on one side of a comma, dapat naka-parenthesis. He is not a basketball player. What we are given with is Dwayne Wade is a basketball player. So not a basketball player is not Q, right? And then or, what's the symbol for or? It's this. Or a football player. Dwayne Wade is a football player is P. I hope you have you can follow. Okay, so last one. If Dwayne Wade is a basketball player, don't worry about that. There are answers in the next slide. I just show you how I did the analysis so that can help also. If Dwayne Wade is a basketball player and a rock star, we have two statements no? Grouped together by this connective and. So we're going to use parentheses. So you will have if, this is if, no? Later, we will have the if because it's if then man. Pero we will look at this first, these two statements here. So how are we going to write it in symbolic form? Dwayne Wade is a basketball player. What is that? That is Q there in our list. Q and replaced by this symbol. And then rock star. Dwayne Wade is a rock star. It's R. Like that, diba? Those are the two on the same side of the comma. But we take note of this, this connective if then. What's the symbol for if then? It's this. Right? And then the other one, he is not a basketball player. So you won't see he is not a basketball player in the original statement because as I have said, we are talking about the same person. So it will be Dwayne Wade is not a football player. What we have here is Dwayne Wade is a football player. Unsay relationship ni a football player, not a football player. It's the negation. So it will be Q and R, arrow, not P. Okay, here's the answer. Oh, Q and R. Ay, nag-advance. It's here. Oh, nag-kuris-kuris ko. It's there, oh. We'll erase that. Paki-check, be. I think someone is raising her hand. Wala na ko na capture. Who was that? Who raised a hand?
Ako to, ma'am.
Yes. What's your question?
Ay, na-clarify na, ma'am, sa letter B man to, ma'am, nag-wonder ko nga nung walay not nga sign ang P.
As ako answer ganina.
Paanday siya ang consider na din nga not ang duha since na and
Ah, okay.
sign.
Sige. Sige, sige. Okay, thank you. How about the others? Klaro na? I'm really emphasizing this because actually if you have asked about my other students before or my former students, if we are supposed to be in the classroom, I will really be calling you one by one. I will make sure that each one of you will be able to answer at the end of a session, because I want everybody to pay attention. Really, I don't like to do lecture, just saying what is done. I want you to do it yourself. And also in my experience, when I was in first year also college, so that has been many years ago, my teacher, my logic teacher is really very intelligent because he is a magna cum laude from MSU IIT. That's why he discussed these things very, very fast. And I really cannot catch up. However, when I did reading of the book, I really found out that it's that very easy. Okay, so, but I don't want that to happen to you, what happened to me, because you might not be as patient in reading books right now because you all have those Google things or Google stuffs. Now you don't have that patience, just like what we do before. So I wanted to make sure that everything is clear, because you don't have tutors. You're college students, 'di ba? You don't have tutors anymore in your homes or in your boarding houses. Whenever things are not clear, you have to ask questions during class time. Okay, so I am not making things difficult for you. I would like to make things easy for you. Okay, let's have this example. Gather your questions ha, if naa. Okay, thank you also. Welcome, Ram. Next, we have here, let P, Q, and R represent the following. Okay, this time, symbolic to sentence form ta. Okay, symbolic to sentence form. So yun ragid unta ni siya, bilang ninyo no, kung makuha lagi ang pinaka-essential na part. So I am not so sure sad if I can really translate it. So we have here, right, this statement for this symbolic form as English sentence. We will have it one by one. Una, look at the symbols. You remember what these symbols stand for? It's for if, then. So we will have if, then you should have a statement here, and then. That's how we translate that symbol here. However, we have a statement that is group, meaning to say that these two should be on one side of a comma. So we should have your comma here, okay, grouping symbol. So we would have P. What does the symbol stand for? That's and. Replace it with an. Ako na lang isimbol sa para makaanong space. You state P. What is P? Get a promotion and complete the training. Then what is R? You will receive a bonus. Ana ra di ba pag translate o pag practice pa nimo, you write everything there, then on the second round or the second time, you will have it of course grammatically correct. So we will have it this way na. If you, I know, this is not the one, the second question. The answer is here. We'll have the second question later on. So we will have there, if, okay, you get a promotion, this symbol is for an, you complete the training, then you will receive a bonus. That's your scratch work. The final answer will be is this. If you get a promotion, we don't mention anymore the you ha. The you complete the training, did not write anymore the you, then you will receive a bonus. Just like that. Okay, how about the letter B? It's the reverse of what we did earlier. This time, okay, nanay answer. It's the statement form. You're going to write it in symbolic form. So if you do not complete the training, what we are given is you complete the training. So do not complete, it's not Q. If then is replaced with this, then you have a comma here, meaning to say you're going to group these two statements here. You will not get a promotion, but we are given you will get a promotion. What is the relationship? It will be the negation. And then this and there, you will not receive a bonus, but where we're given is you will receive a bonus. It's not our grouping symbol. Okay? So I hope klaro-klaro na. You just need to do practice. Okay, it's your turn to answer this. Try. Please try. You have 1 minute. I hope I have it right already. Scratch paper first, then you pick the correct answer. I will restart the question if still others cannot, ano. Anyway, we're still practicing. Don't worry about that. Okay, 50% answered C. That's the correct answer. At least 50%. I'm still happy about that. So 50%. So letter, what was the answer? Letter C. Okay, I'll save that. Okay, it's letter C. Okay, so if the bus does not come or I will go. If the bus does not come or I will go. Okay, it's okay. So the answer is letter C. Isa-isahon lang na. Okay, so the ba, if then. So if then mani, 'di ba? Tapos you have two statement in each. Two in here, two in here. Two pod sa before. So the school bus does not come is the opposite of will come, 'di ba? So it will be the negation and then this or what the symbol is for or I will go to school. Scratch paper ta ha. The if then is the for the whole statement. You have two statements here. You have two statements here. You have the school bus does not come. The first one here does not come is the negation of the and then or what's the symbol? This one, I will go to school. If you look at here sa atong reference, I will not go to school ang given. So I will go to school is the negation of that. So negation of Q. And then if then, this is the if then now. I shall not meet my friends, but we are given I shall meet my friends. So this should be not are. And what's the symbol for and? This one. Go out for a movie. I'll go out for a movie. Where are we? It's S. The correct letter C. It takes patience, of course, because we really do analysis, di ba? Just like in
Ma'am,
making
letter
life.
B.
Yes, question?
Ma'am,
Ma'am, wrong ang C, ma'am.
si ma'am.
Ay,
Letter B, ma'am.
not P or not. Dili po ng letter B. Dapat not
For the
Q
second
siya.
parenthesis, ma'am, 'di ba kanang inverted V po yung in between not R and S po?
Yes,
Since and
dapat.
man, hindi or.
Oo, tama. Wrong. Wrong ang answer, no? Thank you for that. Dapat Andy siya. O, walay correct answer again. Wala, no? Okay, sige. Ako mo din siyang gi-edit from the other notes from my last year because you might have seen the notes tapos mag-copy na lang. Okay, thank you for those who answered will get ano. Okay, this is the correct answer na ha and na siya. I'll edit this before I'm going to post it again. Pero the ones that have been given in the is the old one. Those are already correct. The one that I have here is a corrected one. Thank you for your questions and clarifications. Some more questions? Okay, how about if we have this? I think I did not edit this. This must be already correct. This time? Okay, Kylie. Thank you. Sayop, basig sayop na po ako answer. Correct answer is letter D. Check that to kung tama ba ko. Letter D. If P is if I, okay, this means if then. So we will have if and then we have then. All of them are if then na choices, no? So possibly with that one, all of them might be correct. We'll have the next elimination. P and not S. Okay, P and not S. P is I studied for this exam. Asa may I studied for this exam? Oh, delete na ni. The three can be the possible answers. And are all these and? Yes, and tanan. Let's have the second. Not S. Not S. S is I am not good at doing proofs. Not S will be I am good. Right? So, I am good at doing proofs. Okay, correct ya po ng tulo, no? I am good at doing proofs. Next is Q. Q is I got a good grade in this exam. I got a good grade. Hindi pwede. Kay Q lang man. And I get a good grade on this exam. Correct dapat sa si A, no? Yes, it's A also. Correct. So, ang nag-answer og A og D would be correct also. So, that's the 41 plus the 29. It's 70%. Very good. Okay, so A and D are correct. Okay, so let's have this. I will just have this next meeting na lang ha. So, because we almost run out of time, I don't want to discuss that very fast. Do you have any questions and clarifications? So for Friday, we will have our meeting will be asynchronous. That's still longer, man God. I don't want to discuss that in hurry. I will just forward it to our next lesson. So next meeting, we will be discussing about truth tables, equivalent statements, and tautologies. I will include the last part that we have not discussed today. So asynchronous on Friday, you're going to answer a quiz in Quiz-Is. I will be giving it in Quiz-Is. If you're familiar with Quiz-Is, I will give you an attempt of 3 attempts until you will have, so make sure that in your second and third attempt, your score is better than the previous. Because it will be your, but still, I'm going to pick up the highest score in the 3 tries. Okay, I'm going to check your attendance first. You have a class after this? Can you please chat na lang? Can you please chat? What did you do last Monday? Because it was a holiday. Paki-chat na lang sa chat box so that that will serve as your attendance. Be? What did you do last Monday? Yesterday. Yesterday. So that I would know if you have an answer there. That will serve as your attendance. Okay, very good. The others stayed at home. The others slept. Okay, studied for the quiz. Very good. Finish activities. Very good. Rest at home. That's very good. Okay, si Nicole nag-travel. Or else. Watch movie. At least nag-relax si Fritz. Okay. Bonding with fam. That's very good, Candy. Okay, do you have questions, clarifications? Nag-play og basketball si Eliseo pero nag-study. Very good. Okay, that's a good break also for yourself, 'di ba, when you have holidays. Very good. Went out of town. Very good. Si Simon Pimentel nag-study. At least, 'di ba? Okay. It's okay, Harley. Soria. I'm going to check. Okay. I'm going to check Soria. Okay, questions, clarifications. I hope you will learn something today. Please read the notes. If wala na sabta na part ha, you really have just to study the notes. If you have a book, then you can look at books, then try exercises. Actually, as I have said again, you can have better grade here. Ayun ra gyud unta ni if makuha lang ang core. Yes, Elaine, you have a question, Elaine? Ohas?
Ma'am, present ko, ma'am. Dili ko ka-comment sa kuan, ma'am.
Okay,
Comment
sige. Okay, thank you. Okay,
Ako sad,
Elaine.
ma'am.
Ako na
Ako
check.
sad,
Who
ma'am,
is
si
this?
Kayna.
Hi, ma'am.
Kayna
Ha?
Villones.
Usad, ma'am.
Kayna Villones.
Villones. Who else?
Me, ma'am.
Muhammad Manire, no?
Mohammed, ma'am.
Mohammed.
Opo, ma'am. Thank you po.
Okay,
Ako,
who
ma'am.
else?
Dili naka-comment.
Simon Pimentel. Who else? Kindly state your family
Ako,
name.
ma'am.
Naka-family name, manggudiri ang akong listahan. So, mas dali pangitaon ang family name. Pagara and kinsa pa? Na? Okay na ta? Sige, take your breakfast. Take a rest for a while. May I know what's this?
Harlador, ma'am.
Okay, Kent.
Present,
Okay,
ma'am.
sige.
Presyo.
Orlador. Okay, sige. Thank you for attending the class today. See you next week. Bye, everyone.
Bye, ma'am. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you,
Salamat.
ma'am. Bye.
Bye, ma'am. Thank
Bye,
you.
ma'am. Thank you.
Fine, thank you, ma'am.